The Vatican has a new mascot, and it's an anime girl. A woman sadly died after backing into an airplane propeller while taking a selfie. And women in China are getting phone calls from the government asking if they're pregnant yet. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian in a hotel room. The Vatican has a new mascot, and it's an anime girl. I didn't know the Vatican even had mascots. I guess they're like sports teams like that. Anyways, they have a new mascot that they just unveiled. It's a new cute anime girl mascot, and they're hoping to create characters that, quote, can represent the sentiments that resonate in the hearts of our younger generations. Wow, isn't that lovely? Little cute anime doll. It's so nice of the Vatican to try to draw in young children into... Wait a minute. In hindsight, maybe not such a good move, considering their track record with children overall. Isn't, they're not getting an A+ in that category. I'll just say that. Now, as for the new anime doll, her name is Lucy. Which is weird also, because that's kind of close to Lucifer. You should avoid that name. How about Peg? Peg's a good name. Well, maybe not that either. They say Lucy, they're spelling it Luce. It means light in Italian. And they say that Lucy helps to, quote, guide young pilgrims towards hope and faith. There's a photo of Lucy here, a little cute little anime doll. She's got a rosary around her neck, blue hair. She's got a little staff, and she's wearing a hoodie and some Crocs. I mean, she's dressed like a child, and, I don't know, maybe this will work. I don't know. The church is pretty desperate right now. They're trying anything to get younger generations to get interested in it. As we move to a more secular society, more, European, I would say they should overhaul their whole operation, though. In my opinion, maybe start by paying your taxes. That would be pretty cool. And if you really want to become more appealing to the youth, you got to be cool, man. You got to be hip. You got to be on Twitch. Maybe make some kind of like Jesus Call of Duty shoot 'em up game. I mean, kids would like that. Maybe like some kind of VR experience where you can be Jesus. And, walk on water and stuff. That'd be pretty dope. Technology is probably the way to go. Although maybe here's an idea. I got a great idea. You want to get hip? Priests learn how to breakdance, get really good at breakdancing, and enter the next Olympics. Because I saw the previous breakdancing competition. Not so good. I think priests could place. Breakdancing priests. It's just something hilarious I'd love to see. All right, some more details about this little anime girl. She was designed by Tokidoki co-founder Simone Legno. I don't know what Tokidoki is. Lucy is joined by her dog Sentino. Oh, there's no Sentino in the picture. She's got some friends too, Faye, Shin, and Sky. With a design reminiscent of Sanrio characters, Lucy and her friends wear colorful raincoats and boots to travel on their holy pilgrimage. Lucy and her friends have unique markings in their eyes, which Jubilee chief organizer Archbishop Rino Fisichella describes as, quote, a symbol of the hope of the heart. Lucy will make her debut at the Lucca Comics and Games Convention in Italy, which will be the first time the Vatican will officially participate in a comics convention. Now you're talking. Catholic Church, go to Comic-Con. I mean, if you participate in things like that, you will, get some attention. Maybe like priests could like get into cosplay a bit. How cool would it be to go to go to church and see the priest up there dressed like a Wolverine or something? That's probably pretty sacrilegious, though, I'd imagine. I'm just trying to think of ways in which the Catholic Church can get hip with the youth, Well, here's an idea. I mean, it's Halloween season. You could turn the church into one of those haunted mazes for a couple of weeks. That would be amazing. Imagine going to a haunted maze in a church, or turn it into a haunted house. Scary nuns, make them up like that that scary nun creature from the movie. Man, you could really have a good time in the church around Halloween, if you just, but that's probably not okay either. I mean, I'm just brainstorming here. I'm not necessarily on board with the Catholic Church any longer, although I was raised Catholic. I'm okay now. This article says the Catholic Church is planning multiple cultural events, and at present it's unclear what's planned for Lucy and her friends insofar as merchandising. Well, I mean, they're probably going to make a lot of money off merchandising and, unfortunately just keep it. The Vatican is extremely wealthy, from my understanding. And that's just, to me, when you make all that money and you don't have to pay taxes, I just there's people out there that need help. They're hungry. They need to be clothed. And oftentimes this rich organization, I think we can all agree it's a rich organization, they don't seem to provide on the level which they could. They can make a real difference in the world with their money, helping homeless people and people that are hungry and can't afford health care, this kind of thing. And they just don't do that. That's something I would love to see. And honestly, that's something Jesus would do. A woman dies after backing into an airplane propeller while taking pictures. This story is out of Wichita, Kansas, a place that is very dear to me because I spent several nights in a Wichita, Kansas jail 20 years ago. We have here a woman in Kansas. This is a sad story. She passed away after backing into a moving airplane propeller while taking some photos. We got a lot of selfie deaths going on these days. I've covered a few of those stories. There's been a lot of Grand Canyon fallings from taking selfies. People are just falling off cliffs taking selfies. Couples are dying in foreign countries taking selfies in dangerous places. This is no bueno. So, I mean, I'm going to cover this sad story about the girl, but, let this be a lesson to any young people that might be listening to the Weird AF News podcast. I don't know if my podcast isn't really listened by Gen Z people in general from the data that I've collected, but if any of you are listening, just selfies are great. You want to look good on the gram. You want to show everybody that you're traveling to cool places or that you're next to something cool, but just be careful. Wild animals are involved often. How many people are going to be mauled by a bison before we just quit it? Just be careful out there. I enjoy the edgy selfie once in a while. I took a picture with a Catholic priest recently. That was scary. Come on, guys. Got to get a little dig in there. Okay, now, according to this county sheriff named Jeff, a woman named Amanda Gallagher, 37 years old. There's a photo of her. She's beautiful. Just a beautiful woman. This is sad. She was taking some pictures, as beautiful women tend to do. She was at the Air Capital drop zone, taking photos of people getting on and off airplanes when she backed into an active airplane propeller. I'm so curious how this can happen. Obviously a spinning propeller is not always visible because it's going so fast. It looks like there's nothing there, but I'd imagine you can hear it, correct? Although maybe she was wearing those noise canceling ear pods or something. But I mean, that's not a place for those on a tarmac. When you're around airplanes out there, you got to really have your senses at tip-top condition and available. Your senses need to be available, all of them, because every step could be your last on a tarmac around planes coming in and out. What was she doing out there? Who lets people just walk around and take photos? I got so many questions here. The article doesn't have a lot of information. It says the woman was unresponsive when the EMS arrived and was taken to a hospital where she later perished from her injuries, and her family has set up a GoFundMe to help her with some funeral costs. She was described as a kind, adventurous, creative, and a beautiful person inside and out. Yeah, maybe not the best description for someone who was just, blown apart by a propeller to say she was a beautiful person inside and out. Who writes these? I mean, they just unknowingly put a joke in there. I mean, I feel as though it might be inappropriate to joke about this situation. I don't even know how you spin it, to be honest with you. On a kind of positive note, the GoFundMe that the family set up for Amanda's funeral has been successful. They were trying to raise $12,000, and they got $20,000. That's pretty good. So this thing's taking off. Oops. Women in China get phone calls from the government asking, "Are you pregnant?" Women in China share bizarre accounts of recently receiving some calls from the government asking them about their plans for pregnancy. Great. So now you're getting calls from the government and your moms. How come no prego? It's pretty scary when the Chinese government is getting involved in your personal life at this level. Getting calls from the government asking if you're pregnant. I mean, come on. Hi, this is the Chinese government. Do you happen to be pregnant at this time? No? Well, you will soon be assigned an impregnator who's going to arrive at your home in about 5 days to impregnate you. Isn't that good news? In the meantime, if you do get prego, please contact us. Thank you for your service, and have a nice day living in the greatest country in the world. Or maybe the call's like more robotic than that. If you're pregnant, press 1. Not pregnant? Press 2. Not pregnant? Well, press 1 for foreplay and 2 for intercourse. The ultimate gag would be if they outsourced all these calls to a call center in India. Yes, hello, calling to see if you're prego. Are you prego? Why not? Why aren't you getting prego? I'll tell you what, how about you go have sex right now, this minute? I'll hold. Do. Don't worry. Get prego. Don't worry. Get prego now. Now, back to the article. Sorry, I went off the rails there. Probably going to get canceled. This measure was taken by the government as part of a broader incentive by the Chinese government to boost the birth rates. They're trying to boost the birth rates. They're trying all kinds of things. Well, careful what you ask for, man. You guys wanted to do that one-child policy. That was your idea, and now here you are. And women, got a taste of some free time, and they don't want to give that up. So this is where you're at now, Chinese government. In this article, they interviewed some people who got phone calls. One woman said that she got a phone call which was uncomfortably personal and invasive. She's a working mother of 2. She claimed the government asked when she would be conceiving a 3rd child. Well, getting a little greedy. Although shocked, she says she still responded that she simply, quote, did not have the time as she was busy working full-time. To which the representative replied, "You can get pregnant first. If your mother-in-law can't take care of your children, you can ask your mom." Imagine that. Making suggestions on your child care and whatnot. And that's, extremely invasive. The central government in China hopes to learn why so many of their women are just reluctant to have more children, and they're trying to devise new policy options. Yeah, they've offered cash rewards for having babies, and now they're resorting to these mafiosa tactics of calling and interrogating you. Great job, guys. It says here, this month, China's Population Research Center announced it was going to conduct a nationwide survey to obtain new data on views of marriage and fertility. The survey would target women of childbearing age between 15 and 49. Those are the childbearing ages. Are you okay, China? Try 20 to 40 or something. 15 to 49. 15 isn't childbearing age, bro. 15 is child age. Are you okay? And 49, I mean, that's cutting it. That's cutting it. China says they're trying to understand the actual difficulties and needs of families in birth and parenting. Are you really? I doubt it. China's State Council has outlined some steps this week calling for efforts to build a new marriage and childbearing culture by spreading respect for childbearing, marriages at the right age, and parents' shared responsibility for childcare. This is all a big lie. Respect for childbearing and marriages at the right age. You just said your childbearing ages begin at 15. And you're calling people and like, how about you have a 3rd kid? How about a fourth? What's wrong with 8 kids? Come on, you got time for that. Don't you have some sisters and brothers that can babysit for you? I mean, this is ridiculous. And it's a lack of respect. You are judged by your actions, not your words. At least you should be. And let's just hope the state of Texas doesn't get hold of these tactics, because we might start seeing these sorts of phone calls over there as well. Oh, and a girl caress me down. Oh, that's that loving sound. Any Sublime fans out there? Hit me up. Tell me your favorite Sublime song. funnyjones@gmail.com. I want to hear 40 ounces of freedom, choices only. This is your buddy Jonesy, dealing with hangovers in Vegas. It's hangovers in Vegas, if you couldn't tell by my energy. Hangovers in Vegas is a thing. Well, when you're in Vegas, you got to do Vegas things. I'm trying to squeeze the lemon here, meeting some people, having some good times, doing some shows. If you happen to be here, please reach out to me. We'll get you to a show. Follow me on Instagram @funnyjones for all details on where I am. And I like to meet listeners, so come on out. And have a shot with shots with Jonesy, yeah. And then we can go out in front of the casino and puff on a blunt. These kinds of things are fun. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm probably going to get some angry emails about this one. How could you make fun of the church again? Once in a while, a few times a year, I make fun of the Catholic Church. Come on. It's my right to make fun of the Catholic Church. Don't take it so seriously. I make fun of everything on here. If you haven't noticed, everybody's a target on here. And at the end of the day, I'm like, whatever live your life. You want to be super into Jesus, do it. That's your choice. I don't tell people what to do with themselves. But, I do reserve the right to make fun of you if it doesn't turn out so good, your choices. So that seems to be what a lot of this podcast is about. People making bad choices in life, doing weird things, playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. But that's we need this. We need to feel good about ourselves. You go, oh, the world is crazy. At least I'm not this guy. At least I didn't marry a rice cooker. Whew, I'm not so bad after all. And then you can feel good about yourself. Isn't that nice? And then you get a few laughs too. And also, I don't even mention this that often, but there's a big learning thing going on here too. We're learning. This is education. I could stamp this podcast as educational if I chose to, because there's a lot of learning going on. And I've learned a lot from my listeners as well, which has been great for me. Sometimes I'll ask a question. I'll be like, what is a Buc-ee's, for instance? I asked that question several months ago. I didn't know what a Buc-ee's was. And then I got a lot of people in Texas sending me messages saying, oh, a Buc-ee's, Jonesy, is this like convenience store, and it's big, and they have everything in there, and they're great. And then someone, shout out to Rebecca, sends me some coffee and a mug from Buc-ee's. So I'm learning too. This is great. Anyways, what am I talking about? Let's just get out of here, all right? I'm almost at 20 minutes. It's too long already. If you want to support the show, please subscribe and like it on Spotify. You can like it or give it some stars. I think you can give it some stars. That's super helpful. And then I have a website, weirdafnews.com, where you can join the Patreon or you can buy me coffee, which in Las Vegas I will be spending on gin and tonic. Disclaimer.